Good Lord. I just sneezed and it was one of those ones that sprayed a lot. Ugh. So it is 7:05. Yeah, 7:05 in the morning, and the countdown would be we have 5 hours until the nasty weather. This is being filmed before the nasty weather. You're probably going to be watching this after the nasty weather. So, really quick in advance, hope you guys did good. If you're in Pensacola or somewhere in the south where you got hit with the nasty weather, I haven't seen it yet. So this is like prophetic, but I'm glad you made it. It wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be, right? We only got 5 hours left. Let's go to the gym. I said that like the world was ending. We only got 5 hours left. Let's go to the gym. That's not the last thing I'm doing if the world's ending. Okay, done with my workout. Countdown, we are now at 4 hours before the bad weather's supposed to be here. Switching over to something a little more happy. I've been trying to be a little more purposeful when I am out and about, when I'm in public, because the Bible talks about being a light, correct? Well, it's not. If you're only a light when you're inside a church building, or only a light when you're inside your home's going to be really bright and the church is going to be really bright, but the rest of the world is going to be dark. So it's like out and about when we need to be our brightest light. So I've been trying to open my eyes and look around and look for ways, which is super not easy. It's intimidating, but look for ways to be a light. How can I talk to somebody, bless somebody, give somebody some money, like help somebody with something and be able to interject and show Jesus and be a light. So I'm at the gym and I'm not paying attention to anybody. I'm just trying to work out and keep to myself. And that thought crossed my mind of be a light, like look around, like you're not in here by yourself. And so I start looking around and I see this young man. I'm going to call him a young man, but he's probably in his 20s, younger than I am, but he's probably in his 20s and he works at the gym and he's wiping things down. He's just doing a good job. He's just working, keeping his hands busy. And he got so highlighted. The Lord said, go talk to him, like that's the one you're to talk to today. And I'm like, okay. And immediately you get all the thoughts, like, what am I going to say? Is everybody going to look at me? Is he going to think I'm stupid? Like immediately you get all the ridiculous thoughts that Satan puts in your mind. Like any of it matters. Like this is somebody who Jesus died for. This is somebody who will spend eternity in heaven, eternity in hell, one way or the other. That's way more important than the opinions of anybody who may look at you crazy. But anyway. So I'm just thinking, okay, God, what do you want me to say? Like, what do I do? Help me. Because I think sometimes it's important to be strategic. You can't just walk up to somebody and just be like, hey, are you going to heaven? Sometimes I think that could be a turnoff. I don't think you can use it as an excuse to just never talk to anybody, but I think you have to be strategic about things. Consider other people's feelings and emotions, because if immediately they feel embarrassed or they feel like the world's looking at them, they're not going to be listening to what you're saying. So this just hit my heart really, really big. The Lord said, just go tell them that I see them. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, no, go tell him that I see him. Go tell him that I see you. I'm watching over you. I'm looking at you. You have my attention. I'm mindful of you. Just like go make sure he understands that I haven't forgotten about him. So I walk up to him and I'm like, hey man, do you have a second? And I'm sure he's thinking like I'm going to tell him a machine's dirty or something like that. And I'm like, I was over there doing my back workout and I just looked up and God told me to come tell you that he sees you. And like his face changed, his countenance changed, like oh my God, are you serious? And I'm like, no, he sees you, man. Like he's watching over you. He sees you. And the dude just goes and like gives me the biggest hug. He don't know me. Like he just gives me the biggest hug in the middle of the gym. And I was just holding him. I'm like, he sees you, man. He sees you. He's got you. And I'm like, I just had to tell you that. God told me to come tell you that. And I'm like, what's going on in your life right now? Is there anything we can pray for right now? So he talked to me for a few minutes. We had a little bit of like conversation and prayer, and it was just amazing. And if you've been following the vlog, if you've been following the channel for any period of time, you know that I'm not saying any of that to say, guys, look at me. I'm so awesome. And I witness all the time. I'm saying that as a testimony because you've heard me talk about how I'm a loud and outgoing person, but Satan tries to stifle the Jesus voice in me. I can be loud and outgoing and funny, but when it comes to be loud and outgoing for Jesus, it gets harder and I get insecure. And so God's working on things. Guys, sometimes you have to ignore the emotion and the feelings of fear and go out there and do it anyway. Say, man, forget that. God cares about that one person right there. And I don't, even if I feel stupid, or even if I look stupid and everybody in the whole gym thinks I'm stupid, or everybody at work thinks I'm stupid, no matter what, I've got to somehow let them know that God cares about them. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I was talking to my pastor yesterday, and he was just talking about how everything flows out of relationship, and everything flows out of love and righteousness. And he really simply put, he was just talking about, I'm so loved and I understand how loved I am. It makes it easy for me to just say, I understand and I feel all this love. I want other people to experience that. Why would I not want somebody else to experience the unconditional love that I have? And so he was saying, if you realize how loved you are by God, you can't help but to want other people to experience that. So spoiler alert, that's what I'm doing lately. Focusing on the love and the righteousness of God. 4 hours left. We only have 4 hours left. We gotta go.
Asher.
The countdown's at 2 hours. What the world? Countdown until the bad weather. Okay, you tell me, coincidence or not? Yesterday, was it yesterday? When was the eclipse? Day before yesterday? Hey, no, the eclipse was 48 hours ago. That's 4 and 8. That's 12. 12 is a 2 and a 1. Stop. So the eclipse was on one day, and then 2 days later we have all this bad weather coming? You tell me if that's a coincidence or not, Shauna.
There was a sign.
It's the judgment of God. Oh, wow. So the countdown has been at 0 for like 2 hours, 3 hours now, and it's just now starting to sprinkle. So weatherman, you got it wrong. Price is wrong, Bob. It's a boring vlog day. Will you help me?
What do you want me to do?
So things are picking up and getting a little interesting. We did have a tornado that came through Pensacola. I don't think it came anywhere near. It didn't come anywhere near us. Now we just got a lot of rain. Still just a boring vlog. Come on, it's the most exciting thing that's happened all day.
What,
Tell them what happened.
Crock pot making noise?
Tell them what
You're
happened.
like, it's an ambulance outside. No, it's a crock pot squealing.
Me and Sean have been hearing a noise and we couldn't tell if it was an ambulance in the distance or a kid outside screaming or what. Turns out the crock pot is hissing. Mostly still boring day, but we did get visitors. What are you doing? Is that your camera face? Lens. So it's almost midnight, and I think maybe I got 4 hours of sleep last night. No clue what I'm still doing awake. But I just finished yesterday's vlog and got it uploaded. I've been doing my best for like 3 weeks to try to get caught up on edits. It's not going all that well. Hopefully everybody did pretty good through the storm, but I spent most of this rainy day going through all of my hard drives and trying to get a little bit of organization going on my laptop. And I ran across this clip. Hey. It's just so crazy because I remember that day and it feels like it was yesterday. And my boy's not grown. He's like just over 2 months or 2 years. But oh my gosh, time flies. I was told 1,000,000 times, enjoy it while it lasts because you'll blink and they'll be grown. And I'm like, whatever. And it's really happening. During dinner and then after dinner, I was doing the dishes. We're kind of like getting the kids ready for bed. Shauna was like, what's wrong with you? Because I was being pretty quiet. And I was like, I don't know, like the past 2 hours of the day,
it got like really stressful. Like both kids were whining, both kids were crying. I was like, I'm just ready to get the kids to bed. I'm ready to relax. And then it was after that I found that clip, that I found that video, and I was like, man, it was just a big dose of perspective. Because like a couple of hours ago, I couldn't wait for you little boogers to go to bed, and now I wish you were awake so I could give you a hug and just play with you and watch TV with you. That's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to say about that. I'm gonna go finish my cereal. Hopefully you guys did good during the storm. I'll see you tomorrow morning.